Namaste everyone. In this video, we will learn about three topics. First, nested conditionals. Second, casting. Third, the precedence of mass operator. So first of all, we will learn about nested conditionals. So what are nested conditions? Nested condition means that you have an if condition under another if condition. So let us consider this first example here. Here we have a variable num and the value of this variable is 10. So the first condition says that the number should be greater than 6. Is num greater than 6? And the value of variable num is 10. So 10 is very much greater than 6. So it will pass the if condition. And when it will pass the if condition, it has another if condition. So this if condition says that the number should be less than 11. So here we have 10. 10 is very much less than 11. So that's why we will have this as an output. So let's run this. Yeah. So we have this as an output. Let me change the number to 1. So let's check. Yeah. So here the value of the variable num is 1. So will it pass the if condition? No, because the if condition says that the number should be greater than 6. So the value here is 1. So 1 is not greater than 6. That's why it will go to the else category, and now we have this as an output. Let me change the number to 15. Yeah. So here the number is 15. 15 is greater than 6. So it will pass the if condition, and then we have the first if condition. The number should be less than 11. So is 15 less than 11? No. So this will not fall under this category. It will go to elif condition. The elif condition says that the number should be equal to 16. So is num equal to 16? Yes. That's why we have this as an output. Let me say it takes something else, 20. Yeah. Now we have no output. Why? Because the value of this number is 20, and it will pass to the first condition. Why? Because the first condition says that the number should be greater than 6. So 20 is very much greater than 6. And then we have another condition. This says the number should be less than 11. Is 20 less than 11? No. And then we will go to the elif condition. The elif condition says that number should be equal to 15. So is 20 equal to 15? No. Though, then it will pass to else condition. The else condition has pass as a keyword. So pass, as we all know, doesn't do anything. It is just a dummy statement. So yeah, that's why when we run this cell, we have nothing as an output. Now let us consider another example. So in this example, the first line is asking for an input from the user. And then we have an if condition. So what the if condition is doing? The if condition is taking the input from the user, and then it is converting it into small letters using this, and then it is comparing it with I. And then we have the elif condition. So what this elif condition is doing, it is taking the input from the user using this variable choice, and then it is converting it into small letters using this, and then it is comparing it with D. And at last we have the else condition, who is not doing anything, which is not doing anything. It just has a keyword pass. So if the first condition if is satisfied, then we will have a print statement. And after the print statement, we have a question for the user. And the question one variable is asking for an input from the user. And then we have another set of if-else conditions. So the first if condition here is converting the input taken by the user into small letters using this, and then it is comparing it with morning. And then the second elif statement, it is taking the input from the user, it is converting it into small letters, and then it is comparing it with afternoon. And then we have the else condition. The action will be passed into else condition if none of the conditions written above are satisfied. Yeah. And then and then we have the elif condition. So if the action satisfies the elif condition, we have a print statement. And then after the print statement, we have another variable, question2, which is asking for an input from the user. So if the user will type Chennai as an input, it will first convert the input taken by the user into small letters using this, and then it will compare it with Chennai. If this condition will be satisfied, we will have this as an output. And if this condition will be satisfied, we will have this as an output, and at last we have the else condition. So let's run. Yeah. So here, first it asked me for an input. I typed I. So when I typed I, my first condition was satisfied. And then it was asking for it asked for another question. It asked another question from me in this question, and then I wrote morning. So this was my output. Let's check another. Yeah. So here my first input was D, so it went into the elif condition. So in elif condition, my input for question 2 was Chennai. So it satisfied the if condition here. So this was my output. Let's check some other conditions in this cell. Yeah. Yeah. So here it first asked for a choice for an input from my side. So I wrote I. So when I wrote I, the if condition here, it was satisfied. So when the if condition was satisfied, this print statement was displayed. You want to eat idli? So we have the print statement here. You want to eat idli. And then it again asked for an input from my side. When do you want to eat? So I wrote 6 p.m. So when I wrote 6 p.m., here firstly we have the if condition, which is only satisfied when I would have wrote morning. So I didn't wrote morning here. That's why if condition was not satisfied. And then we have the elif condition. So elif condition would have only be satisfied if I would have written afternoon. So I have not written afternoon here. So that's why elif condition was also not satisfied. And then at last we have the else condition, which is only fulfilled when none of the conditions written above are satisfied. So I wrote 6 p.m. 6 p.m. didn't fall into this category. It fell it 6 p.m. came into the else category. That's why I have this as an output. No time available. Now let's come to casting. So casting is used when you want to convert data type or type of a variable value into another. So let's take an example. We have a variable a and the value of this variable is 3. So let's check the data type of a. It's int, which is an integer. Because 3 here is an integer, that's why the data type of a is an integer. So suppose we want to display a in the form of a float value. So what we can do? We can write float and then a. Yeah. Now it's 3.0, which is a float value. But now let's check the type of a, data type of a. It's still integer. So to change the data type of a, what you can do? You can type a and then a float. Now run this cell and now let's check. Yeah, now it's float. Okay, so let's take an example, another example. have an error. Why we have an error? Because here we are trying to add string with an integer. Let's check the type of num. Yeah, num is a string. Here the input taken by the user, here the input entered by the user is a string. So, and now this variable age, it is trying to add string with an integer, which is not possible. That's why we have an error. So to resolve this error, what we can do, we can type int and then this, and now type 22. Yeah, there's another way of doing this. You can here only type int. Yeah, and now run this cell. Yeah. Now let's come to the precedence rule of mathematical operators. So this rule has been written in the order of highest precedence to lowest precedence. When most of the times when we are evaluating any expression, we have more than one maths operator. So in those cases, we have to follow the precedence rule. So the precedence rule says that if in an expression there will be a parenthesis will be present along with exponential function, multiplication, division, and everything. So the expression inside parenthesis will be evaluated first, and the expression associated with subtraction will be evaluated at last. So let's check with an example. Suppose I have 13 multiplied by 5. Yeah, this is the output. And then I have 13 multiplied by 5 plus 2. Now this is the output. But if I have 13 multiplied and then I have parenthesis 5 plus 2, and then we have a different output. Here this thing was evaluated first. 5 plus 2, 7, and then 13 multiplied by 7, 91. So let's check another example. 13 plus 5 multiplied by 2 minus 4 divided by 2. This is the result. And now if I apply parenthesis in the above equation, yeah, we have a different output. So this was the precedence rule. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.